Well, meantime, some new developments along our northern border. Two Canadian men busted after smuggling over 1,100 pounds of cocaine that is worth more than $40 million. Illinois State Police say the cocaine was found inside a semi-truck after a stop for an inspection in Illinois, just outside of Davenport, Iowa. And it comes as President-elect Trump has threatened to impose new tariffs on Canada and Mexico unless the countries crack down on illegal immigration and smuggling. Now, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau vowed to Parliament he would work side by side with the U.S., pledging to protect Canadians from the tariffs.
The reality is we're going to continue to work constructively with the incoming administration to do what Canada and the U.S. have always done. When it comes to drugs, Mr. Speaker, we've taken serious steps on that and we'll continue to.
So just days ago, Trudeau made a visit to Mar-a-Lago, saying he had an excellent conversation with the president-elect, with Trump emphasizing how the prime minister has made a commitment to stop the drug flow here into the U.S. So joining me now is international affairs expert Jamie Tronnes. Jamie, thank you so much for your time. I do want to talk more about that meeting, but before we get to that, there is so much focus pretty much every day on the southern border, but based on your reporting, based on your knowledge, is enough attention being paid to what is happening along the northern border?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. Obviously, the northern border has been something that is not getting as much attention as the southern border, and for good reason. The numbers are just different. But the quality and quantity of people that are streaming across the northern border are very different than what you see in the southern border in terms of people who are being coming over for different reasons. They're not fleeing a lot of violence. They're not coming over with coyotes. They're coming over and surrendering themselves more often than not at a border crossing. However, there are about 20,000 a year who come across the border trying to be undetected for nefarious reasons. We know that just in 2023 alone, there were almost 500 persons detected trying to cross who were on the terrorist watch list, for example. So the northern border has been getting steadily more and more people crossing. A lot of those folks are coming from in the Swanton sector in New York and New Hampshire and Vermont, in that area. And those folks are really looking more for economic opportunity and trying to find a new life in the U.S., but in a very different way than you see from the southern border.
Absolutely. And as we take a look at these numbers, again, those are the encounters, and you focused in on the fact that there were about 20,000 who attempted to come across the border illegally last year to our north. So my question for you, Jamie, there are these reports of this incoming surge at the southern border ahead of Trump's inauguration. That's at the south, but at the north, are we expecting the same thing? Are we expecting any type of surge from the north?
Yeah, and in fact, that surge had already started. If you look at the entries for the last 3 years, they've gone up 600%, and that's a significant increase. And those encounters are, again, a lot of smuggling issues going on in the northern border, but they seem to be somewhat things that were, aside from fentanyl and hard drugs, that perhaps America is not as concerned about, things like tobacco smuggling. In fact, sales for illegal tobacco is now almost outstripping sales of legal tobacco in Canada, and that illegal tobacco largely comes across the southern border. The same thing with guns. Canada receives a lot of guns from the United States, and their resale value in Canada is significantly higher because they're harder to purchase. And those sorts of criminal enterprises, when they're going across a border, where there's a flow for cigarettes, there's a flow for human trafficking, there's a flow for drugs, there's a same sort of pathway for all kinds of nefarious activities. And so the government of Canada is starting to get concerned, as is obviously the United States, about what's coming across that border and where it's coming across. But we are, as you said, seeing that surge in migrants coming across the border. And I think it will continue right up until the inauguration and perhaps onward. We'll see.
All right, so Jamie, let's talk about this meeting that happened. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was just at Mar-a-Lago. He was meeting with the president-elect. What more do we know about their meeting? What could it potentially signal going forward?
Yeah, well, the meeting was attended by the Prime Minister, and from what I understand of the meeting, they talked a lot more about fentanyl than they did about illegal border crossings. And that tells you that drugs is really on the forefront of what President Trump is trying to get a handle on while he gets into office.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.